Hi, this is Pat Patterson, Community Champion for StreamSets. So hopefully you've seen the video we made of the 2016 StreamSets May the 4th be with you Tweet Off. This is a little look behind the scenes. Now what I did was I created two pipelines with StreamSets Data Collector. Now the first one listened to the Twitter stream via Twitter's streaming API. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing a get on this URL. So this is the part of the streaming API here, stream.twitter.com and so on. And I'm actually specifying that I'm tracking the StarWars hashtag. Okay, so Twitter will give you tweets as they happen on a particular search criterion. Now, obviously, I'll skip over my Twitter credentials here, but we can look at the JSON. One thing I had to ensure I did here was make sure the maximum object length was big enough for that tweet data. And what I'm doing is simply storing the tweets in S3. And what this is storing is something like this. I've pre-printed a single tweet here, and you really get all the information, all the metadata on the given tweet. So all the hashtags are broken out there, any images shown in the tweet, any image mentions, URLs here. You really get a lot of data, but the core of it, of course, is the tweet text here. And this one happens to mention Kylo Ren and some Lego Star Wars. And because we're intent-driven rather than schema-driven, I didn't have to configure StreamSets with any of this JSON structure. I could just address the text field in my pipeline. Now, we could have built just a single pipeline here, but archiving these tweets into S3 provided us with a few advantages here. We could jump on this idea, be saving this data immediately, saving all of the mentions of Star Wars while we actually figured out what we were going to do next. It's like we're buffering these tweets into S3. So what we ended up doing was building a second pipeline. So here we are reading those tweets from S3, from the same S3 bucket. And this is really the core of the pipeline here. This expression evaluator just runs through a number of regular expressions, matching them with the text. So you can see here that we look for the strings Vader and Darth Vader. And if you can't parse regular expressions with your eyes, that's basically looking for /B is a word boundary, so we're looking for Vader or Darth Vader as whole words, and this query I means case independent. So if there's a match for those in the text field, then we set that output field to true, because the result of this expression is a Boolean, true or false. And then we go through doing the same thing for the rest of our selected characters. So we've got Han Solo, Yoda. So you can see Yoda's is super simple. We just look for Yoda as a whole word. If we go down, Emperor Palpatine is the most complex. But again, we're just ORing together a bunch of words that we're looking for. So if text matches any of those search terms, then we set Palpatine to true. So once we've done that, we can remove all the rest of that data, because these are pretty heavyweight JSON objects. Again, they can be up to 16K. So what we're doing is we're using the field remover and just saying keep these listed fields. So I just listed out my 8 fields that I'm interested in there and got rid of a lot of that bulk. And then really the final bit of processing we do is there are a bunch of tweets that just don't mention any characters. So what we say is if all of these conditions are true, so if there's no mention of Vader, no mention of Han, and so on, we just send the record to the trash. And if at least one of the characters is mentioned, then we write it to the Kafka Star Wars topic, and that gets picked up by the custom Minecraft plugin I wrote that's monitoring that and building out those fabulous portraits in the Tatooine landscape. So there you have it, rendering 3D visualization based on mentions in Twitter. Thanks for listening.